You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee After Show.
I don't know what you were just saying, but here's what I have to say. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for, of course, our favorite show, Glee. It is Season 3, Episode 18. This episode was titled Choke. But before we do anything else, I am Roxy Striar, along with Marisa Serafini.
Hello.
And Annie Demyan.
Hello.
And Ronnie Jr.
And hello.
And we got hellos across the board. Very good. And, of course, we are in our lovely Studio B right now. But it is still kind of new to a lot of us, so we're still working out some kinks, if that's true, and practicing a little bit in here, even though I think you guys are perfect.
I mean, it's
great.
it's fun. It's good, but we're
I love Studio B. I really do like it in here.
Perfect.
It makes me feel like I'm at home. Studio B all the way. I'm going to start. Let's trend that. Speaking of trending that, let's talk about Twitter in case I want to tweet at you guys during the show, or if I want to tweet at you during the week. Hope you guys don't mind. And by that, I mean, of course you don't, because you love tweeting at the fans. Where can I find you?
I am Marisa Movies. That is Marisa Movies at Twitter.
I'm at Annie Demyan, which is Annie, A-N-N-I-E. Demyan, D-E-M-Y-A-N.
I'm proud of you that you
Find
figured out
me.
your Twitter name. I'm
Yeah.
very, very proud of you.
Yay, I need followers.
you guys
I'm new
working.
at Twitter. I've been tweeting a lot lately, and I'm funny and entertaining, so check it out.
Good. I definitely have to look at that. And Ronnie Jr., where can we find you?
You can find me at Ronnie Jr. Media on Twitter. And
Is that so funny?
No.
I just like looking at your smile. It makes me happy. See, in Studio A, I can't see you while you're in the booth, but here...
Now we communicate about this great show, Glee, that I don't watch as much as you guys. But it did. I was watching with Marisa, and she laughed a lot. So
Sorry, I was going to say the best part about Glee is that you don't have to watch all the episodes because you just watch one, and they've got all this song and dance, and they incorporate you in
and
it.
I used to watch it with my grandma all the time. I mean,
That is very
I said it like she's not around. She's still around. I just don't get to visit.
And then-
now I'm missing my grandma.
And now everybody wants to call you and ask you on a date, so just
right.
tweet at him instead, okay? And of course, sorry, I'm at Roxy Striar. The other ways to contact us, there's iTunes, which is our favorite way to be told what's going on. We love to be 5-starred and commented. We really could use those comments because the more we're commented there, the more often we pop up on iTunes, and other people who don't know about us can find us, and that's really great for us. Also, telling a friend. I know that seems stupid, but if you tell a friend, they're going to tell a friend, and it's a whole chain. We love friends at AFTERBUZZ, so give us some friends. YouTube, you can comment on our YouTube, and I think I just hit about every social media plug you possibly could
I love
hit.
the concept of iTunes, and also, isn't the music from this show, do they end up on iTunes
Yes,
too?
they do.
I like that. I could appreciate that. I mean, the song and dance kind of show.
So you're already on iTunes, downloading your favorite songs of the week. Just go on, give us a little rating, comment,
And
tell
wait
us
a minute,
what you like.
was this an episode with the Real Housewife of Atlanta girl on it?
Yeah.
NeNe Leakes, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
she was there.
I think she's becoming a regular almost. I mean, she's a reoccurring for sure now.
Oh, definitely.
We'll see where that goes, but she's a teacher at the school. I can't see her leaving anytime real
She's
soon.
not a bad actress, I don't think.
No, and you know what? I actually was corrected by a Twitter fan of ours a really long time ago, and I was saying I think it's kind of frustrating that they would give this role to a reality star because there are people who work so hard at their acting careers.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't think she was bad, I thought it was frustrating.
Yeah.
And I was actually corrected by somebody who said, prior to being a Real Housewife, she was a working actress.
Oh, wow.
So that's a little bit of an AfterBuzz exclusive
yeah, I heard
here.
that too. Working or aspiring.
Or
whatever.
right. So it's not just like they gave the role to somebody who was undeserving.
Yeah.
She was auditioning and attempting, so
That's good to know.
It's really
Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, she seemed natural, I think.
Right, I think so too. And she's funny, and I like the role.
Yeah.
And as Sue says, she's the black Sue.
She is.
Exactly.
I love that.
I think that NeNe,
Mhm.
like she's a great foil character for Sue, like an equal kind of person.
Right, and
to go up
sometimes they'll
against her.
beef, but sometimes they'll see eye to eye, and when
Yeah.
they do, their force can be really strong, which we'll
Mhm.
see later in the episode. But I actually wanted to start by talking about Puck a little bit, if that's okay.
Yes.
So here's the deal. I mean, guys, we love Puck. We haven't been seeing him in a lot of episodes.
Mhm.
We don't really know what's been going on with him, and we do know he's always been a bad student. He's always used his sexual appeal to get what he wants.
Yeah.
He is very sexy. Mark is quite the hot actor. So, I mean, it might work on some people, but it's not working on his, what is it,
Geography teacher.
Geography
Yeah.
teacher. I mean, he's at risk of failing and not graduating.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how devastating it would be to go through 4 years of high school, be in your last couple weeks, and not make it because of one class? You're kidding me, right?
Oh wait, I
That's
was
ridiculous.
I in high school I was thinking I maybe was gonna have to do summer.
No, but not have to do summer. He wants to drop out
Oh, because he was gonna
after
graduate.
doing all of that,
Oh,
right?
But
Yeah.
he almost may not walk. Is that what it is?
Well, here's the thing. He failed his. We find out in this episode he has one test left, and all he needs is a D- on it to pass the class. But we see the final grade is an F.
Yeah.
And that F means that he didn't pass the course, and he's not the kind of guy who's like, oh, well, I really want to get a degree.
Right.
So he's like, well, I'm just going to move out west and not deal
And
with
she
this.
she did say that. She was like, "Well, you can always study." And he's like, "What did he say? I want to put my. Do you want me to put my hand on your thigh or something?"
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
Tickle
exact-
your thigh.
Yeah, let me tickle your thigh for a D-, I think
Yeah.
is what
Well,
the quote was.
My question was, what do you think about Puck, trying to hit on his geography teacher just to pass?
I think it's sad that it's worked in the past, and that's why he thinks he can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, high school is a time where you're growing up. Not that I'm that far out of it, but I mean, high school seems like ages ago, but really it wasn't. And it's this time when you're growing up and you need people to teach you what it is to be a woman or a man and what it is to respect yourself or have respect for authority.
Yeah.
And he's been so wronged by all the authority members in his life, from his dad, who we'll talk about in a minute, to his teachers, to when he hooked up with
Idina Menzel's character.
yeah, Idina Menzel's character. What? Can't think of her name right now. Rachel's mom on the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been screwed really, and he doesn't know what it's like. Or all these women that he goes and cleans their pools and sleeps with. He has no idea what authority is supposed to be.
Right.
So what I think about is that it's sad, and as much as he needs to take responsibility, he's 18, he's an adult now. He needs to take responsibility for his actions. I can see why he feels misguided, or he is misguided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what do you guys think about it? I mean, we're watching it right now. If you're watching us on YouTube or live right now on AfterBuzzTV.com, you can see that we're in the scene right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And he gets pissed off that she's not accepting of his sexual offer of tickling her thigh. And he runs out and he's singing School's Out.
Great song.
Yes.
Yep, amazing song. And he rocks it, of course. He's our little rock star on the show. But
Little
then
Dazed and Confused for you.
we
Yeah, I bet.
exactly. We finally see the last moment of his song. He's singing for the New Directions. And the New Directions, usually, who are always like, yeah, that song was great. You rocked it.
Yeah.
They're just dead silent. They stand there in silence. And he's like, what?
Yeah, and he just walks out.
And
too.
walks right out.
Yeah.
And it's because these people, I mean, they love him, they care about him, but what are they to do? What are they going to do? But we see what they actually do. Haha, I am that immature that every time I say do. Immature, I know, get over it. do. And then what he does do, that's better, is he goes and he tries to after seeing his father, he meets up with his dad, not on purpose, but he lends his dad $500 because his dad can't pay for rent, and he hasn't seen his dad in years and years.
Yeah.
Which was a devastating moment.
Which he said he was doing only so he would never see him again. But once the $500 runs out, I think he'll be coming back. I think that was a stupid move.
Right.
That was like his savings or something.
I agree.
But it was a great incentive for Puck to realize, he needs to graduate.
Exactly.
Or he'll look
and
like
stuff.
that in 15, 20 years.
I like that they added that moment in for a couple reasons. Number one, I mean, I'm a sucker for giving people money in my family, or not that, I mean, I have the most incredibly supportive father, and he does provide for me, but just, or giving things to my family members that even when they don't deserve it, it's hard. It's hard not to want to give to your family, no matter how wrong
they've wronged you.
How many times they've wronged you or whatever it is. I get that, and I do think that's important, but also I feel bad for Puck that he felt like he had to do that, but it was a really good catalyst to make him go on and realize and
have
talk
hope and realize,
exactly.
that he needs to finish school.
He goes forward and he goes and talks to these guys and was like, "Will you help me?" He doesn't know that meanwhile they've been planning this entire thing on the whiteboard. Oh my God, how funny is Finn?
I loved that.
How
that
funny
was
is
that
Finn?
was awesome.
He's like, and this is Artie, you're just gonna wheel yourself into the pool.
That
I'm
was
like,
funny.
Finn, that is not a good idea, but whatever. So anyway, they try to help him, but to no prevail. What do we think?
I think he just has a really bad case of ADD. He's not an idiot. I think he just doesn't want to study. He's lazy, I think.
Like the teacher said, you think he's lazy. But senioritis,
a bit of senioritis.
Since freshman year.
He doesn't like people telling him what to do.
Now,
so we don't think he's dumb. We just think he's not motivated.
Right.
Exactly.
So what do you do to motivate somebody like Puck?
I would think, like, when you have the realization that it's either graduating or not, that's motivation enough.
But clearly not.
But it's not, so I don't know what could help him.
Or some people
he needs
just
a tutor, somebody that's willing to spend time and help him, maybe.
Maybe a tutor with big boobs.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding
But
you.
then he might
That
not
is true.
study. They might just end up hooking up.
Somebody who is appropriate, is hot and fun, but knows her boundaries and would not hook up with him, but makes learning fun. Like you saw, he answered those two first questions on the test because he said
The song.
the song. You know, he needs little learning tricks. When you spent that long getting by on other things other than studying, you have no freaking clue how to study.
Yeah.
It can be really hard. You need learning tricks like that. Anything that was in the song, he knew the answer to.
Yeah.
Guys, what did you think of this song, by the way? It's originally from My Fair Lady, so this was a really interesting
Oh, that
choice,
song.
I thought.
Like,
Right, what was it? It's called The Rain in Spain.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. You loved it?
I loved it because that's a great way for, especially all the Glee boys. You know, it's a great mnemonic device on how to study.
Right.
You know, if you can take your studying abilities and apply it to something you love,
Right.
it's easier to pass whatever test or anything you're doing.
Guys, we're
Great.
speaking a lot about tests, and I just wanted to talk really quickly. If you are a student and need textbooks and are buying things all the time, whether it is textbooks or notepads or the shoes you want to wear to your first day of school, or if you're not a student and you just like to shop on Amazon a lot, we have this new awesome thing here at AfterBuzz. Basically, what the deal is you already know what you want to get. We're not asking you to buy anything you don't want to buy. But if you're planning on buying something on Amazon, if you go to AfterBuzzTV.com, we have a link to Amazon. You click on the link. It only takes you 2 extra seconds. It doesn't cost you an extra penny, but we actually get some of the proceeds from whatever you bought. And you guys have been amazing so far. We even got an email from somebody at Amazon saying, wow, you guys have really been doing a great job. Your fans must love you because you've been making a lot of money from this. So that's great. Keep it up if you're already buying things on Amazon. Just go there. We really love it, and it only takes 2 extra seconds. I know that I've told all my roommates and all of my friends and all my friends' parents, and seriously, you buy things on
Twitter.
Amazon. Exactly.
Yes.
You buy things on Amazon every day anyway, if you're me at least. Like, Amazon's the number one.
It's crazy too. Also, since we've been mentioning this, which is a good thing for AfterBuzz, it helps
Right.
build the studios or whatnot and keep it going. a lot of people are like, you know what? I do go buy all these shows, like season 1 DVD packages or whatever. So it is tying in. Now, the AfterBuzz community is growing even bigger because of what we got with our Amazon affiliate program.
And you know what? If your schedule is freaking crazy like mine is, like I'm sure both of yours are, like Ronnie's definitely is, and you're a crazy person and you don't have time to run to Best Buy to buy all these things, Amazon, they're awesome. They're prime time shipping. They always get things to you so fast. So we love Amazon, and we love that Amazon loves us.
That's what I'll do with my grandma, because again, she loves the show. So I'll buy her season 1 DVD, and we'll sit. We'll make it an AfterBuzz Amazon
and you know
Saturday.
What? And also May 13th, Mother's Day is coming up.
Mother's
So
Day.
you know, if you got that special person in your life, your mother, your grandmother, whoever it is, and the best way to share love with them is by giving them the gift of television. Definitely.
It's true.
It's not a hug. It's not an I love you. It is a DVD with Glee on it or any of the other shows. So, I mean, you know.
The gift that
that's what
keeps
I
on
want.
giving.
Exactly.
Plus, you're helping AfterBuzz.
Exactly. And that really is the gift that keeps on giving, because what we do with the money that we get from you guys is we put it back into the studios. We don't take it as hosts. We don't take it as the people who run this joint. We run this joint. No, we put it back. We made Studio B. We put in lights. We put in new chairs. We get awesome guest stars. So we really are working for you guys. So if you could help us out a little bit, that would be great. But honestly, I feel like I spent way too much time talking about that. Let's keep going. Anything else about Puck? We saw that second song. We see that he fails. I mean, in predictions, we can talk about where we think he's going to go from here.
I only have to say one thing that's been on my mind. I hate his hair.
You do?
The hairdo. Are you guys into that? Do you think that's hot?
I'm so over his
that. I
mohawk.
think he should just shave it off at this point.
I think it's a look for his character.
Right, because he's kind of a punk kid and he's a badass.
And it works. If he was in my high school, would I whisper behind his back? Probably.
Probably. What did you do?
Was that
Someone
a bitchy
cut your hair?
comment? Yes, it was. I'm sorry. Was I that girl?
She just said
Not
probably,
always.
not for
I
sure.
just said probably, and by probably I meant, don't ask me if I really would, because maybe. Anyway, but he's a hottie, so he can pull it off. That's fine. That's
definitely.
Fine. Yeah. Would I whisper behind his back but then try to make out with him? Yes. Yes, I would. Indeed.
True.
So, fair enough. He can keep it then, I guess. I hate moving on to such a subject like this after what we were just talking about, but it has to be talked about, and it's really important that it was talked about on last night's episode of this show, which is domestic abuse and the violence and abuse of women.
Yeah.
Which I think they did a really respectable, amazing job covering this episode.
Yes.
Just overall, what were you guys' thoughts? Did you think that they respectfully handled this, or was it too forced like sometimes they do on these issues? What do you guys think?
No, I think it was awesome. I think it's not talked about enough, especially for the fan base, the target audience that watches this. They definitely, I'm sure, deal with that a lot, abuse. And it's good that they got to see it firsthand. They first were joking about it because they don't know anyone, and then you see how serious they got once they found out that it was abuse.
Right.
You know, I think it's a good message. But like we see, she says she left, and...
Oh my gosh. Let's try to handle this one. I'm going to try to go chronologically because this was really what the arch of the episode and the big theme was. So let's try to cover it starting from the beginning. So what we know at the beginning is that Santana and her little gang, I don't know why I think it's Santana's gang, but she's just so spicy. That
she is like a gang member.
Her pot.
Yeah,
the leader.
She runs this shit. So anyway, they're talking and they make some... I mean, basically what happens, Coach Beast comes in, she has a black eye, and they're like, what do you think? Like, she got a shiner from Cooter because he wouldn't let her on top or something.
Yeah.
Make some joke about it. And actually, Roz Washington, which is NeNe's character, is that how you say it? Or NeNe
Leakes,
NeNe
yeah.
Leakes. I always mess that up. NeNe Leakes' character, Roz Washington, comes in and is like, hey, that's not funny.
Yeah.
And I love that she did that because... yes, she's big and bad and uses some of her powers to do things but this is something that she can actually use her strength for good. And she says, that's not funny. What you just said was not funny, and it's a serious topic, and we need to address this.
Yeah.
And of course, being the Glee Club, how do you address anything but with song? So, at first... I'm really disappointed in these girls.
Yeah, and the song choice, right?
And the song choice. I mean, we picked Cell Block Tango from Chicago, which number one, of course, is one of my favorite songs. I mean, come on.
It is so good.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought they butchered it.
That I agree, too. I was so upset at the end of that. I was like, really?
I thought it was a brutal song choice.
Yeah.
And And
Speaking of which, here it is.
Right, exactly. A brutal song choice for what they were trying to do, and I didn't think it was sung well. And for a couple reasons. So starting with just why I don't think it was sung well, these kids are too young and don't have enough life experience, clearly, this is a woman's song.
Yeah.
This is a major woman's song. How do you top some of the most incredible voices or actors of all time singing this? If you go back and listen to it on iTunes, it sounds like little girls singing a woman's song.
Yeah.
So, but I think that was kind of the point, that this song wasn't supposed to be great.
Right.
And yes, it was fun to watch them on stage, and if they were doing a production of Chicago, maybe it was a different story. But even Santana, who is such a woman and so comfortable in her skin, it was like watching a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they clearly didn't understand the message, which was the most important part, which was, what the hell? And Roz Washington goes, you took this week assignment and you sang about women who kill their husbands for chewing gum. How frickin' rude.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, come on, right?
Right.
Right, because the song is so opposite of what they were supposed to do.
Right.
Because they're talking about abuse towards women, not women, doing the abuse towards men.
Yeah, it was an immature choice. Like you said, they're just girls, and they're choosing that song, which is not how you would handle that situation. By what? Fighting back? You can't fight back. What? A gun, maybe, sure, but
Exactly.
it's not.
And
Smart.
so, honestly, when I was watching this, I thought that they were loving it or whatever. Not that Sue and Beast and Roz looked like they were loving it, but
The
I was like,
performers.
what? Yeah, the performers. And I was like, this is really a bad message to send to people. But of course, they switch it around. Thank frickin' God. But then the next thing we see is Beast runs out. And because we see these flashbacks that she's having.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And the way that they presented that, I thought was so beautiful. I mean, I don't mean beautiful like I liked watching it. I mean beautiful. I just mean artistically, Glee did a great job this episode incorporating this in the montage.
Yeah.
And we see this being pieced together in with the song, and Beast runs out, and Beast finally admits to Sue and Roz that Cooter hits her, or that he hit her.
Yeah.
And it was like, you see this woman who's such a big, tough, strong, athletic woman, and you would never think. And the real message of this episode to me was, you do not know what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
No.
And they say that at one point, and it's true.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing is Beast, she coaches like a whole team full of boys, like slash men, but
Right.
she can't, stand up to her own husband.
And that happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the lesson also was, you don't know which guy it's going to be. You don't know. Now, I didn't like the way that they made everybody look at their own boyfriends, even if they treat you so well, and be kind of suspicious of them.
Yeah.
I didn't like that so much.
Right.
But that was only my only flaw with this part of it. If you have an amazing, loving boyfriend and he's never beat you, that doesn't mean he's going to.
Right.
And they kind of phrased it a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it should have been just more about awareness, not like look at your own situation.
Exactly. But that being said, the rest of it I thought was really beautifully done.
Yeah.
Which brings us to after Beast ends up, expressing herself to these girls and telling them, they really feel awful about it.
Yeah, they're shocked.
Even Santana, who's the one who usually cracks some sort of joke or something, they feel awful about it, which brings us to their awesome song, which is seriously, I love the song. I'm like
Me
going
too.
through my notes right
I
now.
love
Amazing
that
song.
song.
Florence and the Machine are unbelievable. I just saw them at Coachella, and they're
I
really,
did
really
too.
great. Incredible
So good. That
performance.
song was so good.
And the song is called "Shake It Out," and literally, I was sitting, not in my own bedroom, in Grammy and Papa's guest bedroom while I was watching this, and Grammy comes running, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like in tears, like tears streaming down my face. When Santana starts off this song, "Regrets collect like old friends," is the first line. I'm like, no, that's not what they're about. No, oh my God. And I have like tears, every single one. Then we add on, and it was a cappella at the beginning. Then slowly they come in with the music. Tina picks it up, then goes to Mercedes, and all I could write down was chills. Like my
good.
entire
So
body,
good.
and Beast too. chills.
Crying, yeah.
Chills and crying, and I thought the actress did such an amazing job. It was a beautiful performance. I thought she killed it.
Yeah, and they
great.
just were sitting there. It was really simple, and they didn't need to like dance or move. It was just you could tell the message was coming out.
Right, and sometimes, it's about the power of the individual voice, and we could really hear all three of their voices. I'm glad that Sugar and Brittany didn't chime in, to be honest, because this was like, it was just perfect to me. I thought this was one of the best songs that Glee has ever done.
Yeah.
I really
It was
did.
great. I think the simplicity of them just sitting, like you said, it was enough.
It was-
on
it-
such a serious topic.
That's it was enough. And to add anything more would just have kind of put it over the edge, I think, and I thought they did an amazing job. And I loved it, and I was like, they really moved her. But then, what the hell happened?
That
Guys, what the
ending.
hell happened? I couldn't tell whether this was a flashback or moving forward. We see that Beast goes back to Cooter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that she never left all along. Like, as soon as she said the next day when Sue came to her and was like, why didn't you come to my house? And she said, oh, I went to my sister's house. I didn't believe her.
Beast.
Yeah.
Denise Beast.
I did not believe her. I was like,
didn't
she did
believe
not. No, not that quickly. She even was sticking up for him. Oh, it's only one time. He was tired, defending him. And then she didn't come to her house. Like, why would she go to her sister? I didn't believe it.
Until you just said that right now, I didn't even realize that. So she never went to Denise Beast. That night, she went back to Cooter.
She went home, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But Beast did say that line that she's afraid that if she leaves Cooter, she's afraid that no one else
No
will
one
love
will
her.
Which was
Which
like,
was
so
gut-wrenching.
sad.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, Beast, it took her so long to find somebody who really was into her and loved her. Remember there was a really sweet moment with her and Will Schuester where he kissed her because she had never been kissed before, and just like her whole story. And we thought Cooter was such an amazing guy.
Yeah.
And then this. I mean, I gotta ask you guys something though, and don't think I'm asking this because I feel one way or the other. I'm asking. It was a one-time situation so far.
Right.
yes.
He's never showed signs of that before.
Right.
Is she wrong in giving him a second chance?
It's tricky.
Oh, yeah, that really is hard.
I think it's so easy to talk about from an outside person
Right.
looking in, but when you're in that situation, it's probably hard to walk away. But I think you should walk away. I mean,
I think so too.
From your husband.
yeah. I mean, no matter what the circumstances, he should never lay a hand on you. And her bruise was really bad. Like, that is not acceptable.
That was a serious
That wasn't
shot.
I accidentally pushed you.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Yes.
you turned around and our elbows bumped. That was I punched you in the
face. That was, ugh.
That's
That
what
was
I was going to say. You know what? I do believe that if you have the strength to walk out, more power to you. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do understand sometimes through counseling or something, I do understand why some people do stay, what they are hoping
Yeah.
for. I don't think I've ever heard of a situation where it was isolated and only happened once. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
So will it
Same with me.
will it happen again? My money's on it.
Most
Yes.
likely, yes.
Which is really sad but true. But like I'm saying, if it were to be an isolated situation, maybe they were fighting and he shook her, maybe something. But to full out wind up, punch your wife in the face.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
Yeah.
So-
You got to walk out and you can't look back. Is
Right.
what I feel.
I agree.
Not that I blame her because oh my god, that's so hard.
I
Yeah.
think the sooner the better.
It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it's just
Yes.
going to get worse.
But I don't understand because she's sitting there and she says, "You guys saved my life. You might have saved my life."
yeah.
But she went back to him.
And then, like, immediately after that, we found out that she went back to.
But maybe we're not seeing that in the right order. Maybe she went back to them, then they sing this, and now she leaves him, which is what I'm hoping is what's going to happen.
Right.
And dear God, Glee, please make sure you show us this next week, because if this was just you threw this in just for 1 week to talk about domestic violence in the home, it's kind of a double domestic
Yeah.
home. But you know what I mean? Like to talk about abuse of women, and then you never show us it again.
Yeah.
then I'll be pissed.
We need a follow up.
We
definitely.
need to follow up and to see what happened with Cooter
Yeah.
and if he got the boot.
I'm
mean,
thinking
he
for
should.
the show's sake and the message they want to send, I think she will leave, and I think that you will see her moving forward.
But I think if that is the case, I'm glad that they had her step back for a second because most women do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many times do you hear about a case where she's like, he hit me once, I got up, I walked out, and I never looked back?
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't really happen.
It doesn't.
So I'm glad that, like I was talking about, we were just doing 90210, and one of my big things is I like when television takes serious events and tries to make them realistic and tries to have the steps of grieving like the actual would be, so that people who are in these situations, that's what TV's about, guys.
Yeah.
When people, so people cannot feel so alone, and people
Yeah,
can
relate.
feel like they can relate exactly. So people who are watching this, I mean, this show has so many viewers. There is people out there watching this that are having this problem.
Yeah.
Who are
And
waiting for an episode like this.
And
Yeah.
it does seem like more and more shows are doing that. We've seen that, I think, 90210's,
Right.
some tests, Gossip Girl, all these shows are doing it. And I like what you said. Yeah, you watch a program and there's something that's going on with you, and you see something and it connects to you. I mean, it's just that relatable.
And especially
that-
because this program incorporates music in a way that no other show does.
Yeah.
Music speaks to people differently too. So we've got so many things here. They have such a beautiful outlet that they can work with and really affect people's lives.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
we've seen people come out on the show multiple times. We've seen abuse, like we just saw. We've talked about pregnancy and faith and so many major issues that this is something that we haven't really seen yet, and I'm just really glad that they incorporated it in this episode, and hope we continue to see what happens and that
Yeah.
they do send the right message to people out there who are really struggling with this.
Yeah.
And onto a different note, half happy, half sad note, kind of. Just to get away from, I feel like I'm going to start crying when I think about all these women out there. And,
Yeah. Too much.
So, Niata, I mean, jeez,
Wow.
guys,
What
jeez.
happened?
I mean, let's start by talking about Kurt and how amazing his performance was.
Amazing.
That was
You know,
great.
Rachel's been talking to him all week.
Yeah.
And she's like, you got to do the typical thing. You got to do what you're good at. You can't deviate. And he kind of has this gut feeling. And he goes up there and announces to Whoopi Goldberg, who's what was her name on the show? Carmen Tiptoe.
Yes.
Carmen Tiptoe, Whoopi Goldberg. Amazing.
Whoopi.
And he goes up to her and it was like, this is what I'm doing. She was like, fine, I've heard a million other people do that today.
Yeah.
And he's like, never mind, I'm doing Not the Boy Next Door. And oh my God, he killed
Rips his
it.
clothes off.
Oh my
Awesome.
goodness, that's
Usually, I don't love hearing musical theater pieces on the show that aren't my diehard favorites.
Yeah.
This song was great with his little gold pants. We're watching it right now.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
we're really keeping up with the episode as we're doing
Yeah,
this.
we are.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
We've
We did
stepped
not
it up.
plan this either.
The
Yes,
whole
we did.
I mean,
the whole Amazon
Yes.
plug thing really ties it
Yeah.
all together.
it does.
Exactly. Wow, we did
We are
plan this.
just
What are you
that
talking
I'm gonna
about?
go buy those gold pants tomorrow. I mean, you know.
We had a 4-hour meeting before this, planning all this. And
That's right. Is it okay?
Ronnie, you're gonna go buy them on Amazon,
Yes,
right?
I'm looking at. Is this Kurt? Kurt's gold
Yeah.
pants.
Pants? Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go to AfterBuzz and I'm gonna click our AfterBuzz
He
Amazon
rocks 'em.
link,
He-
and
Yes.
I'm gonna buy them gold, and it just is tight. That's
Exactly.
that's
so,
what I'm going to do.
I mean, this episode was amazing. His dance moves, his voice, that last note he hits, I'm like,
Professional.
Oh my
shut
goodness.
up!
It
Like,
was like
and by shut up, I don't mean stop singing. I mean, like, that's impossible. How did you do that?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So good.
And
He's
was
so
it-
confident.
And wasn't his character not originally in the group? I was watching the Inside the Actor Studio or whatever, and this character wasn't even in the original
Episode?
students. No, like
Oh, he
when,
wasn't
like
in the new direction.
yeah. So I mean, for him to just bust
Right.
out and do this well is
Yeah.
very cool to see.
Right. He's amazing. He has such an amazing voice, and
I'm gonna dance like that too. Just
yes,
kidding.
exactly. Me too. But guys, we got to talk about Rachel Berry.
wow.
What the hell happened? Somebody
what
talk to me. Somebody tell me what happened here. She sung Rain on My Parade since she was 4 years old.
Yeah.
On the treadmill, in the shower, on stage. We've seen it done on the show before.
Yeah.
What happened, guys?
I think it was nerves.
I think so too.
I didn't think she had nerves.
No.
I mean, I think it was just her whole life came down to this, or at least in her mind, you know, when you're young like that.
Choke.
She just choked, and she got a second chance and choked.
But I think the interesting thing was because I've done musical theater for years,
Mhm.
and the thing with auditions, and kind of a little backtracking, but Kurt, he was so prepared with this song that he's so used to, and he proved to Whoopi that he's gonna change it up, you know?
Right.
And he proved that his character, he himself, he can assimilate and adjust to
Adapt on the second.
major changes in theater, and it always constantly happens in theater. It's
That's how you need to
constantly
be,
changing.
yeah.
And he proved that to Whoopi, the person you could prove it to. And then Rachel, she was she had the song that she wasn't originally gonna sing, and then she just went back to her fallback.
She
song,
did
whatever.
sound so amazing for the
The
first.
beginning was so good. I mean, when she stopped, I was like, oh, is this really happening right now?
I was like, wait, is she gonna change songs and have this epiphany? But no, she
Right.
just forgot the
Right?
words.
Or I was like, is this a bad dream sequence? Like,
I know, I
no.
thought that too. I feel so bad for the girl. How are we gonna work this out?
Oh, goodness.
But we talked about this last week about how we predicted that
Yes.
she wasn't going to get
You
accepted.
guys did, and I was like,
Yeah.
Psh, all right,
And
yeah,
you
whatever.
made a good point that she has many other options, right?
Yeah, she does.
She can still go far, we think.
She can go
Okay.
anywhere else.
So hopefully she'll move to New York, but we'll talk about that in
Yeah.
our predictions. Oh my God, what else? What are we missing? I think does that pretty much cover the episode? What other songs did we hear? Anything else? I think I'm like flustered right now talking about Rachel not getting in and just stressed about. Oh no, that's what we're missing.
What?
I knew it. Rachel's big last song, "Cry." Holy crap!
Oh,
She
yeah.
hit it out of the park, guys.
Yeah.
She hit it out of the park. This is a Kelly Clarkson song, and she put every fiber of her being in
Yeah.
this song. Every ounce she had into this song. I thought she did. This was one of the most incredible Rachel Berry performances. If she had put this on for NeNe auditions, I know it's not a musical theater song, but damn.
She would have killed it.
Damn.
Yeah.
This song was like, I was hoping to see Whoopi Goldberg stand in the back being
Me
like,
too.
yes, you're in. Like,
Yes.
whatever it is. Somehow, you
Yeah.
gotta send her a tape of that or something.
Mm-hmm.
She really put every single thing she had into that.
All the
Yes.
emotion you could read on her
All
face.
the passion.
Yeah.
She's
It's-
bawling her eyes out.
It
Oh my
started, and I was like, why do they pick this song? It's not a song that most people know, and I feel like if you can do a song people know, higher ratings. But then
Yeah.
by the end of it, I was like, that's why they picked it. Holy shit. I mean, there's no other words for it. That was freaking incredible. I
Yeah.
thought. You guys are on the same page?
Yeah,
Yes,
completely.
exactly.
I
And
knew
I think
we were
the
missing
way
something.
they just ended the episode right then
Right
and
there.
too.
Like with the tears streaming and Puck getting back his test and her like in a ball and oh my God, I just thought it was beautiful. I thought Glee, this episode was a 10 for me.
It was a 10.
Yes.
I completely agree. I was like watching it and I was thinking, this is an amazing episode. And it was only the first 9 minutes. I remember it was like 9 after and it was already
Right.
so good.
And it got better as it went on. I thought
Yeah.
that there was no peak, there was no ceiling. It
right.
just kept going
Constantly,
up, up, up.
yeah.
So I thought this was an amazing episode.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
actually are going to cut to commercial, but when we come back, we got some cool things to talk about. We have some news and gossip mixed in with a little bit of a special segment. I happened to go to watch the entire cast and creator Ryan Murphy of Glee do this red carpet event, and they were I'll explain everything when we get back. So we'll cut to commercial.
I might just have you guys go right into it and maybe do away with the commercial.
Good,
Just a
because
little, just a
I
little
don't like that
technical,
commercial anyway.
Yeah, I'd rather hear you talk about the commercial, you know.
Yeah, and you're keeping me on edge about this story.
Right.
I
Guys,
need
so-
to know.
Gotta hear.
How's it end? AFTERBUZZ
TV.
What do you
wanna buzz about? Clearly, we're here too much. Oh my God, Annie's like. Okay.
I was like, wait, I don't
Right?
know it. Shoot.
Yeah, especially Ronnie and myself, because we hear it like every single show.
I feel you, dude. It's been
Yeah.
it's been a couple years running now. They change commercials sometimes though, and every time they do, I'm always like, what? What is this?
A new commercial?
But then so then we're gonna go into right now our special segment, news and
Yes.
gossip, that whole thing.
Please tell us.
Okay. Here's the deal. Mia Smith, our very own AfterBuzz TV host, who is a super gleek, and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yes.
She is the gleekiest. Actually got invited to this viewing and discussion panel with the cast and the creator of Glee. +1. So,
Wow.
she called me up because we used to do the show together. She actually is working right now on a play, so she can't be in here for the after shows. But she was like, we got to go to this. And you've got to be my +1. And I was like, yeah, I do. Which is actually why we weren't in studio yesterday. That's where it was.
Yeah.
So we go. And it was actually held at the same theater where they do the Emmys, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
That is cool.
Yeah, very
But we get there, and there was a major bummer that happened. They miscounted. They didn't take into consideration the amount of Academy members that were going.
Mhm.
So when 200 Academy members show up, you have to let the Academy members in before you let the invites in.
Yeah.
So then a line formed, but some people who were invites have been there since 4 o'clock watching red carpet. and we weren't. We showed up at 6 o'clock, and were towards the end of the line and didn't get in, which is miserable.
That's terrible.
It's awful, but I did get to watch everybody walk the red carpet, which was really nice.
That's cool.
Everybody looked amazing. The only people who weren't there were Diana Agron and Mark Dowling, and they were filming. So they weren't there, but everybody else was there and looked incredible. But what I did do was I got a chance to go online and see what happened during the panel discussion, because they did talk about it. So that will be our news and gossip. Okay.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So here's the big deal, guys. Is Diana Agron leaving Glee? The problem is we heard Jane Lynch say on the red carpet, "Oh, well, I'm really, really upset, and I don't know how to feel emotionally because that's the last scene I'm ever going to film with Diana Agron." She slipped it by accident.
Ooh.
And then quickly tried to cover her tracks, because we don't know right now about Diana Agron, Harry Shum, or Mark Salling, if the three of them are coming back. We know about everybody else, but we haven't heard if they're signed on for the next season. So she kind of slipped it. I mean, who knows? Maybe she meant this season, but that sounds like we're gonna miss her. And we know that she's going to Yale, so makes a little bit of sense why they're doing that. That was kind of devastating to me. At a separate red carpet, so this event happened earlier. I know that last night Amber Riley must have gone to something else, because otherwise I would have heard about this while I was watching or saw it. Amber Riley actually fainted on the red carpet.
I saw that today.
What?
While talking to reporters about what was going on in the show. She just said she had been running around so much and whatever, and was not eating and not hydrating and sleeping properly, and she passed out on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Wow. That's news to me.
So
I saw that on Yahoo.
holy crap. A little bit of an AfterBuzz exclusive. They're actually doing Mean, Taylor Swift song in upcoming episodes. So getting a little bit of Taylor Swift up in this house.
Yeah, I like that song.
That's
Yeah,
exciting. We'll see that. Okay, some news about Whoopi Goldberg, because she was on the episode tonight. Whoopi actually does not fly around from shoot to shoot on a plane. She has a tour bus, which might be something you know if you're a Whoopi fan. But she just tours around, goes around on a bus, and lives on a bus. And actually, Matthew Morrison was saying how there isn't a shower in there or anything, but he's been on the bus, and he
What?
She just
Is
lives
she afraid
on-
of flying?
I don't know. She just kind of rocks it out on the bus. Ronnie,
She's
you're looking at me
Whoopi.
like you know this.
No, I laughed because you said if you're a Whoopi fan, you already know this. So I was like, am I a Whoopi fan? Because I heard her
You
talk
do
about I heard her talk about it on The View once, which
Oh.
is even worse because now I'm watching The View.
That's not bad. The
no
view's
judgment.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With your grandma?
No, I did this alone.
Again, go to AfterBuzzTV.com and Amazon to get the View season. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, or
But
am I?
I love Whoopi. That
Sister act.
Whoopi
Oh, sorry.
only
Mhm.
Whoopi
That's
was,
my jam. I love that.
Whoopi was only in this episode for like 5 minutes, not even. But she can create such a presence. It's amazing.
Her
I
character
love
was
her.
like bringing it.
right.
Yeah.
What a bitch. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to say, because I thought it would be funny to end on this, Amber Riley was actually talking about how difficult it is to kiss Cord Overstreet, because both of their lips are so massive that it's really difficult for them. That
Is that when she passed out?
That they're, no.
Oh.
No, but just that their make-out scenes in the show are very hard for both of them. And then afterwards, they both break into laughter because they're seriously. I mean, he's known as Trouty Mouth, and she has these massive, beautiful lips, and when they, it's kind of, you know.
Right.
So I thought that was very
That's
funny.
funny.
But that is your news and gossip for the week of May 2nd. I think that was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got
that
some
was
good
some
stuff in
great
that
inside
panel.
coverage.
So even though I only got to see them do the red carpet, that was amazing. And they all would kind of walk by and shout something to the audience, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to pass out, oh my god. And then I guess Amber Riley actually did pass out, so that's not that funny of a joke.
Ooh.
Anyway, though, let's move on to our prediction. Ooh.
And now,
Guys,
your AfterBuzz TV.
I don't even know where to start here. Yes, I say that a lot. What's going on with Puck's character? Let's start there. Is he going to graduate? Are we going to see him pass? Or is he going to head out west? And honestly, he's one of the people who hasn't signed on for next
Right.
year's show. So what's going on?
Oh goodness. I think. Well, we all saw that he got an F but he does have a backup plan for LA. Not granted, you know.
What is the backup plan?
His pool, his pool business, pool cleaning business. So if he doesn't graduate, I think he'll follow through with his backup plan and move to LA and clean pools.
Okay.
I think that my prediction is, since you said he's one of the characters that hasn't officially signed on, I think that he is going to not finish school. He's kind of going to go, a family member across country somewhere is going to be helping him, and he's going to exit.
Here's what I think. I think that they honestly don't know yet what's going to go on with the actor and his character, so they're leaving all these doors open. I don't even know if we'll get this resolved by the end of the season, but wherever we pick up next season, he either won't be on the show or he'll be on and be like, I did summer school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
I think they honestly don't know yet, and he doesn't know what his career looks like yet, and they don't know, so...
Cliffhanger.
Exactly.
Yep.
But or we'll see. Who knows? Maybe in the next couple episodes they'll figure it out. So we've got that. Anything else? What about with Beast?
I think she's going to leave.
She's going to leave
I think it's going to be
eventually.
a good message, because I don't think they would,
Yeah, I don't think Glee would condone someone to stay with an abusive person.
Why didn't we see Diana Agron during this episode? Agron.
Maybe they're trying to have you forget about her.
Seriously, they don't want us to love her so much because then we're going to be pissed that she's not coming back.
Right.
And I think that's pretty much all we can predict. Anybody have anything else?
What about Matthew Morrison? Is he still on the show? I didn't hear you guys talk much about him. Was he on
he
the
wasn't
show?
on this episode much.
He was,
He wasn't on it?
well, because, you know what, he usually is the one leading the Glee Club, but because these women came in to lead it this week, he wasn't really there much. But he was there.
Do we know if he signed on for next season?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he
has
has.
to be.
That's Mr. Schuster, right?
Yes, exactly, Will Schuster. And he has to be. And it's so funny because he was literally turned around last night on the red carpet, and everybody knew who he was because of the curly little hair. And everybody started screaming.
Oh my gosh.
And then he turns around and is like, throws his hands up, and I was like, oh,
wait,
dreamy.
a really quick side note about him. I saw that he was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That fancy dinner with celebs and politicians. Matthew Morrison was there, and even Obama made a joke at the beginning about why people from Glee were there or something like that.
That's amazing.
It was really funny, and I was like, why is he there? But
it's kind of like how a lot of the
Maybe he could
members,
serenade the president. I don't know.
a lot of the actors on Entourage get invited because that's Obama's favorite show. So
there you go. Maybe that's why.
Maybe his kids really like Glee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
Pretty much that's it for this episode. Wow, I feel like that was a lot.
That was.
Wow, we
2 shows back
killing
to
it,
back.
guys. Everybody in.
Burn through
Gleeks.
it.
Gleeks on 3. 1, 2, 3. Gleeks. Okay, we love you guys. If you want to contact us during this week, you can tweet at us. Where can we find you one more time?
I am Marisa Movies, Marisa Movies on Twitter.
And I'm at Annie Demyan.
At Roxy Striar. Over in the booth.
And at Ronnie Jr. Media.
And iTunes and YouTube, of course. We will see you next week. Love you, Gleeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.